Here is the city of David down here. This is the traditional Temple Mount. He also discovered, Eli Shukran discovered, oh, before I tell you that, I got to tell you about the fortress. Here's how David took the fortress, the Jebusite fortress, in about 1000 BC. The king and his men marched to Jerusalem to attack the Jebusites who lived there. The Jebusites said to David, "You will not get in here. Even the blind and the lame can ward you off." Why? This was such a great tower. There was no way anyone was going to get in. They thought, David cannot get in here. Nevertheless, David captured the fortress of Zion, the city of David. How did he do it? Does anyone know? Anyone know the story? What did he do?
There was a water source.
There was a water channel.
And it made the city impregnable, and God told David where it was.
Yep. And he went under, just like Cyrus did in Babylon. You remember that? He went under the walls through the water source and came up. One of his generals did that and came up, and they took the fortress. So this fortress was recently discovered within the past few years. The citadel, the city of David, and Eli helped discover it. He also helped discover the pool of Siloam. This is a picture here of a group of tourists there at the pool of Siloam. This is just a small section of it. The pool of Siloam was where Jesus said, "Go wash your eyes in the pool of Siloam and you'll be healed." Where's the pool of Siloam? All the way at the bottom of the city of David, down here. So when you go to Jerusalem and you tour the city of David, they'll take you to the pool of Siloam. This was discovered in 2005. They had a sewer crew that was going to put in a new sewer, and Eli knew they were going to do that, and he said, "This area could be an area we want to look at." As soon as the backhoe came down, he went, "Stop! We found some steps here. What are these steps?" Turns out to be the pool of Siloam, the long-lost pool of Siloam. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to go about 40 feet underneath the city of David near the Gihon Spring. This is the water source that fed the pool of Siloam. This is the water source into which the general climbed to take over the Jebusite fortress. Now, I got to set this up a little bit. In June of 2014, we did a tour through Israel, and my colleague Bob Cornuke, the real Indiana Jones, I'll tell you about him later, had run into Eli Shukran in the sewers of the city of David. And, what are you doing here? And they strike up a conversation, and Bob had this theory that maybe the temple was in the city of David rather than up on the Temple Mount, okay? And so he's down there looking for evidence for this, and he runs into Eli Shukran. And so we go back there in June, and Eli takes just a few of us into this area in the city of David. As you're walking along this side of the city of David, I showed you that picture earlier where Eli's in front of that house, that old house. As you're walking along, we're walking along here, and Eli he stops along this walkway, and he pulls out some keys, and he unlocks a gate. And so about 10 of us come through this gate. This is not with our entire party, just a few select folks in our party. And then closes the gate behind him. He walks up to what looks really like the Bat Cave. There's a cave there, but there's a steel door on it. And he takes out his keys again, and he opens up that door. This is in the side of the hill now. Now, this footage has never been seen by anybody else before, except maybe my wife, okay, and my sons. I haven't showed this footage to anybody. When you see us go into this cave, it's going to be a little jittery because it's just me holding my iPad as we're going in. And you'll see steel beams. You go, why are there steel beams underneath this place? Because they took so many tons of dirt out of this area that they had to shore the thing up so the whole city above them wouldn't collapse. So this was discovered in about 2010. We're walking in here, and this happens to be June 19th of 2014, okay? So watch what happens. It's a little jittery, but I want to show you how deep we go into it and what we see. Watch what he does at the end, because he takes out another key. And you'll see what happens when we get there. Here we go. This is maybe a little over 2 minutes.
Front Chuck, and then Lewis, if you can go behind Chuck.
Be careful if you're inside, okay?